Welcome to Motivation at Hand. To know is to know how. Federal ethics law should hold Justice Clarence Thomas accountable. The Campaign Legal Center has written a letter to the Judicial Conference, urging it to utilize its authority according to federal law and refer Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas to the U.S. Attorney General. This is due to allegations of deliberate non-disclosure of gifts in the form of complimentary travel that he has been receiving for more than 2 decades. In the event that it is determined that Justice Thomas deliberately breached the Ethics in Government Act, EIGA, he may be subject to possible civil and criminal consequences. Tweetable quote: "If these disclosure laws are not enforced, the public does not know if Supreme Court justices are favoring their own personal interests over those of the American populace." In other words, in the absence of enforcement of these disclosure laws, the general public remains unaware of whether Supreme Court justices prioritize their personal interests over the well-being of the American population. Given that justices hold lifetime appointments on the highest court of the nation, these concerns are amplified specifically in the instance of Justice Thomas. Furthermore, justices are obligated to disclose all reimbursements they have received to cover expenses related to travel. These excursions encompass a visit to Indonesia, with an estimated price tag exceeding $500,000, which involved the utilization of the individual's private jet and yacht. Additionally, there was an extended cruise in New Zealand aboard the same individual's yacht. Consequently, there exists evidence suggesting that the omission was deliberate, thereby invoking the jurisdiction of the Department of Justice. Notably, Justice Thomas ceased disclosing gifts received from the individual subsequent to the Los Angeles Times report in 2004, even though he continued to accept travel gifts from the same source. When we speak of the U.S. Supreme Court, the laser focus on denying women's rights in America was overturned on June 24, 2022, anti-abortion ideologues on the U.S. Supreme Court explicitly overturned Roe v. Wade. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas has garnered attention for his voting record, particularly on several contentious issues. Notably, he has consistently voted against affirmative action policies, advocating for a colorblind approach to constitutional interpretation. Furthermore, Justice Thomas has frequently expressed skepticism towards the expansion of federal power and has voted against decisions that involve broad interpretations of the Commerce Clause. He has also taken a more restrictive stance on the interpretation of the Establishment Clause, often favoring a narrower understanding of the separation of church and state. Additionally, Justice Thomas has been known for his more conservative approach to criminal justice issues, generally supporting stricter interpretations of the law. These consistent voting patterns by Justice Thomas reflect his deeply held constitutional principles and have contributed to shaping the court's jurisprudence on these matters. 4 notable issues on which Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas has voted in a manner that reflects his conservative principles. 1. Affirmative action. Justice Thomas has consistently voted against affirmative action policies, advocating for a colorblind approach to constitutional interpretation. 2. Federal power. He has expressed skepticism towards the expansion of federal power and has voted against decisions involving broad interpretations of the Commerce Clause. 3. Establishment Clause. Justice Thomas has taken a more restrictive stance on the interpretation of the Establishment Clause, often favoring a narrower understanding of the separation of church and state. And 4. Criminal justice. He has generally supported stricter interpretations of the law in criminal justice cases, reflecting a more conservative approach. It's important to note that this list is not exhaustive, and Justice Thomas's voting record encompasses a wide range of legal issues. In conclusion, the notice to Justice Clarence Thomas regarding the issues before women, men, and children in the United States serves as a reminder of the significant impact that Supreme Court decisions have on the lives of individuals across the nation. As the court tackles complex matters such as reproductive rights, equal protection, and civil liberties, it is crucial to recognize the profound implications these rulings have on the pursuit of justice, equality, and the well-being of all Americans. The decisions made by Justice Thomas and his fellow justices carry weight and shape the fabric of our society, highlighting the ongoing importance of thoughtful consideration and robust discourse on these crucial matters that are far from resolved. Much appreciation to you for giving of your time with us at Motivation at Hand. To know is to know how. We trust you will come back soon.